Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, let me welcome Mr. Logan Wort, Executive Secretary, African Tax Administration Forum, for his remarks. Mr. Logan Wort, please.
I think I must stand here. I hope there are not too many of us short people, otherwise they won't see you. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, the representative of the President of the Senate, representative of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, my Lord the Chief Justice, honorable senators and members of the House of Representatives, honorable ministers and heads of government agencies, the executive chairman of FIRS and the chairman of ATAF, members of the ATAF Council, heads of revenue authorities in our delegations, our delegates from our development partners and our distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to be here and to invite so many and welcome so many distinguished guests to this occasion, and in particular to experience such wonderful Nigerian hospitality. I'm extremely delighted to this, the third International Conference on Tax in Africa. This being our flagship conference in a very special way, kindly allow me to express my sincere gratitude to Your Excellency, the Vice President, for gracing this occasion with your presence. For us, it is a clear affirmation of your conviction that effective domestic resource mobilization is the most sustainable avenue to ensure consistent development on the continent. A real independence in determining our priority and our national programs. Allow me also to thank all the honorable and distinguished guests and public officials who are present here today. This, coupled with the heads of tax administrations and our partners and global tax experts, is clearly a statement that the effectiveness of taxation is a priority for all of us. Today we are joined by more than 27 African countries, by other countries, China, Germany, the United Kingdom, Italy, Denmark, Finland, the European Union, and although they were recognized already, I would like to particularly say how pleased I am to see the former chairman, the two former chairmen of the Federal Revenue Service of Nigeria, Mr. Al-Haj Mashi and Mrs. Ifweko Omogi Okauru, who both played very, very central roles in the development of ATAF as a strong African organization. I believe over the next 3 days, together, we would discuss to further efforts to build stronger domestic tax regimes on this continent. We are particularly looking at company, corporate income tax, personal income tax, and value-added tax. And this contributes to the broader theme of domestic resource mobilization. And I do not need to say too much about the need for domestic resource mobilization in a world where the Sustainable Development Goals and the Africa 2063 agenda is going to need Africa to fund a lot of infrastructure and social development. The Sustainable Development Goals on its own will cost the world $120 billion US. This in a world where official development assistance is declining. The challenge is on us to close the financing gap. And building strong tax regimes is central to closing the financing gap. There are challenges in raising tax revenue. There are challenges in forging ahead with domestic resource mobilization. And some of those challenges include illicit financial flows and monitoring the behavior of successful and not so successful multinational corporations and their tax behavior. They play an important role in our economies, and therefore we need to look at whether we are harvesting the appropriate taxes from these operations. We also need to take care of wasteful tax incentives. We need to invest in strong tax administration systems and capabilities, and in particular, look at our national and international treaties that is a cause of great revenue loss for many African countries. ATAF as an organization has built over the past 8 years of its existence, Your Excellency, a number of programs. And in recent years, our technical assistance programs that assist our member countries on the continent, particularly in dealing with transfer pricing, international taxation and aggressive tax structures, has in the past 2 years alone clawed back more than $160 million in 4 African countries. We do that when we fix the tax system through good rules, good legislation, and investing in good administration. And for that, technology and investment in technology is particularly important. Over the next 2 or 3 days, we will look at that. We will share experiences of how to avoid VAT fraud, how to optimize and broaden the personal income tax net, and how to make the corporate tax experience a better one, both for the taxpayer and for the tax collector. Your Excellency, Honorable Ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, overall, ATAF is continuously and consistently working on both technical and policy issues to improve effectiveness in domestic resource mobilization. In that regard, we call on all stakeholders to honor their commitments in pursuit of their responsibilities in the area of taxation, and say that together we can mobilize sustainable revenue streams to finance Africa's own development agenda. I wish over the next 3 days that we have strong deliberations so that each country can go back and plan and implement, and in that way we raise our ability to fund our own development agenda. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.